I would now like to invite the Honorable Walter Schnobelt, Minister for Civil Aviation and Member for Namatanai. He also speaks as a close member of the family.
Thank you, MC. Chief Justice, Sir Silika, Lady Silika, our Honourable Prime Minister, James Marape, Lady Marape, Opposition Leader, Honourable Douglas Tomarisia, Tambu Blamiblalo Namatanai, former Prime Minister, Honourable Peter O'Neill, Ministers of State, Governors, and Members of Parliament. Late Sir Julius Chan's siblings, my mum, Louisa Schnobel, my uncle, Uncle Michael Chan, and as I gaze across, seeing the two brothers and sisters sitting together, and the other 4 chairs that are empty, there were 6 of them in the family. What a coincidence that they're sitting there and there's 4 empty chairs next to them. All 4 has gone. Now there's only 2 left. Auntie Stella, Vanessa, Byron, Mark, and Toya. Your children and grandchildren. Departmental heads, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'm not going to follow the normal talk law. What Sir Jay has contributed to this country. I would like my little speech tonight to highlight my relationship with my uncle. When I was born, being the eldest son of Sir Jay's older sister, Louisa, my mom, Sir Julius Chan just got married to Lady Stella at that time. They didn't have any children. Vanessa wasn't born. I was the baby guinea pig that was handed over to Sir Jay and Lady Stella to practice on how to take care of a baby. Sir Jay put the susu bottle in my mouth. Fed me, looked after me, changed me. One could only think, exposed to such experience, you will grow some bond or some affection with that child. And we did. As I was growing up, I would be his caddy when he plays golf. He'll pick me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll go to the Rabaul golf course, and I'll be dragging this caddy across, and he's slugging that ball like nobody's business. When I was little, I didn't realize what a politician is or what it was I just saw him as an uncle who attended to me. And that was my first respect for my uncle, how he gave me that attention and how he wanted me to be with him at those times. Now, being a golf caddy for my uncle wasn't the only experience. He would pick me up as well and take me for his electoral visits in New Ireland. I'll either travel with him by boat to visit the coastal areas of New Ireland, or I travel with him on a chopper. Why me? As a child, my eyes was like a recorder. I recorded all these visitations. I even experienced when I was on a boat called Van Mark Toby. A mother in Lumbom was having birth complications, 2-3 weeks overdue, asking for the boat to take her to the nearest hospital. My uncle, like he does, no hesitation, took the pregnant woman on board, and we gunned it for the next hospital. And of course, the boat will go boom, 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 and pops out the baby. I was only 8, 9 years old. Blood was all over the back of the boat. All of a sudden, I heard this baby crying. Of course, he tried to tuck me away to the back, not to experience too much. But my eye was recording. And as a kid, what I recorded didn't actually kick in until I became an adult. Then I started appreciating what is it like to serve. The commitment one has to give. The sacrifice one has to display. And then when I came of age, started going to boarding school, I started realizing and appreciating this stature of a man, who he is. And when he became Prime Minister in 82, 81, 82, I was in boarding school. Man, you couldn't wipe away the happiness that I felt at that time. My uncle, Prime Minister, through on top. He was an inspirational person to me. He inspired me. Maybe he planted the seed of politics in me. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it all happened. My eye was the recorder. I recorded it all. And when the urge came that I wanted to enter politics, the only right and respectful thing to do towards any uncle of such stature was to courteous enough or courtesy enough, respectful enough to go and ask him for an appointment and sit down with him, man to man, and put your queries or questions on the table. I asked my late uncle 4 times. I wanted to stand with him. I wanted to stand with PPP. Could he find a room? I had this political drive. Now I'm a man. Now I want to serve. I see some shortfalls happening in the district. I feel I could meet those gaps. Because one factor alone that is lacking in most basic services is the discipline of delivery. So I thought that as a disciplined person, I could complement what my uncle's trying to do. Now, he was a national leader. You can't take that away from him. But the district was suffering because he was giving all this time to the country. And that's where I saw it, and I came in, I put my hand up, and I said, Kandre, mi kam sana wanten PBP na. And what I do, supporting me na, me go look out in district na, you stop on tablo national government. Now you need to play walk bungan. I'll make sure there's a legacy left behind that no one in Namatanai will forget you. All the project that I will do, all the project that I implement, you come, you cut the ribbon, you take the limelight. I'm happy to take the back seat, but just get the job done. Unfortunately, 4 times I asked, 4 times I got denied. Knowing my uncle, knowing his attitude, he's a proud man. He's a man when he sticks with his decision, he goes all the way with it. It's very rare that he'll change his mind. But knowing my uncle as well, I was thinking, well, maybe I need to prove myself that I'm no more little Wally, I'm a big Wally now. Maybe he needs to see me now perform at a level that maybe he can appreciate to make that decision. Maybe I need to help him make that decision. So after I asked him 4 times, he said no. Mom asked me, is it okay to go and see him and ask him to consider what you've been asking? I said, sure, Mom, you can try. I've already tried 4 times. So Mom went up and asked him, thinking she'll probably have some inroads. Mom and Sergey are very close. Very close. That's dating back to World War II. When Mom used to caress him and run into the hole of stone when the Japanese fighters were throwing bombs in New Island. So that bond grew at that time because Mom's 2 years older than him. So Mom thought she had that big sister influence, so she tried. She went up to Manmantinot Uris and asked him to consider my request to contest under PPP. And unfortunately, he turned my mom down as well. Said a few words that hurt Mom. Mom returned back to knock on where the house was. Teary-eyed. I asked, Mom, you okay? Mom looked at me and thought, you too. You like sanabulon him? My response was, Mom, I feel I can contribute meaningfully to service delivery in the Namatanai district. I feel that if I instill discipline that I have into the administration, we can get things done. I believe, even if it's only 5% of what is not there, is better than the current status quo. So Mom put her hands on my shoulder and said, son, you got my blessing, go ahead. even up to this point, I still retain and held a lot of respect for my uncle. So even though I got my mom's blessing to contest Namatanai Open, I ran independent, so I don't offend him. I stood independent to try and prove to him that I'm no more little Wally. I am now an adult Wally. An adult Wally that is willing to work with you and help you deliver whatever shortfalls that you have experienced. Let me meet those shortfalls and deliver. Kandre na kandre, you me walking walk. You have the desire, I have the desire. You have the wisdom, I have the youth. Let's hold hands and let's get this place moving. So I stood independent to try and show my uncle that, yes, me big man now. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to contest under another political party. I will contest independent, and hopefully you'll see the seriousness in me wanting to be a member who wants to work with you and PPP, that you would consider me. Unfortunately, the rude awakening of what politics were really like at that time, I had a crash course in politics. In politics, sorry, family members doesn't count. It's winning the game that counts. And that was my rude awakening. I got labeled from A to Z. I was labeled someone I was not. It's okay, no problem. But if there was anybody who inspired me, if there was anybody that I looked up to, if there was anybody that I had respect, utmost respect of, was my uncle, late Sir Julius Chan. His commitment, sacrifice, the attitude that he's given, how he strive to deliver what he was committed to the people of Namatanai, was immense. I wanted to be like him. I aspired to be like him. I wanted to be that person. But unfortunately, it wasn't the case where he recognized the efforts that I put in, but I always had respect for him. Always did. Even to the point that when I came in as member and he came in as government, I invited him out for lunch in Parliament. Try to make amends. Say, come on, uncle, let's put things aside and just work. The people voted you, same people voted for me. I'm here today to share this because me achieving the status of politics was inspired by my uncle to be here. It's because of him I am here. It's not because of myself. He ignites something in me that I never thought I had until I became an adult. Countryman, thank you, Lo Service Blue You. Thank you for making our family proud. Every single family member is proud of your achievement. Most of us would like to emulate what you've achieved. Some of us are walking your steps. It's a big step. It's a big, big shoes to fill. I know that, I understand that, but I am up for the challenge. Thank you for giving that encouragement to me. Thank you for being there, being that light. And thank you for serving Papua New Guinea. Farewell, Kandeman, last man standing, Governor of New Ireland, late Right Honourable Sir Julius Chan, May you rest in eternal peace alongside our Father in heaven. And thank you, and thank you. God bless you, Milgata.
That was Walter Schnobelt, Namatanai member and Minister for Aviation, and also the nephew of the late Sir Julius Chen.
Minister for Civil Aviation and member for Namatanai. I would like to now invite the Port Moresby Murat Community Choir to perform a few numbers.
The member
for
for
us.
Namatanai shared
They're the
a
only
little
choir
bit of
representing
a
New
rare
Ireland tonight,
insight
New Ireland
into the
province rather, tonight.
relationship
So I
that he
would
had
like
with
to
his
welcome them
uncle.